Have you ever wondered, what if your deepest wounds were actually hidden gifts? What if every heartbreak, every failure, every dark moment in your life was never meant to break you, but to awaken something powerful inside you? Today, I'm going to tell you something that might change the way you see yourself forever. Scorpio is not just a zodiac sign. It's a soul contract, a cosmic assignment, a blueprint of transformation written in the stars. People often say Scorpios are dangerous, mysterious, too intense. But the truth? Scorpios were chosen to carry the parts of life that most people run from: pain, change, endings, and deep emotions. But beneath that silence, beneath those guarded eyes, lies something extraordinary. In this video, we're going to uncover the 18 hidden abilities that only Scorpio possesses. Not just talents, but sacred powers linked to psychology, astrology, and the very core of human emotion. And trust me, by the end, you might just realize you've been carrying a sacred fire inside you all along. So, stay with me. Make sure to watch until the end. And if you're ready to understand your soul on a whole new level, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Now, are you ready to meet the real Scorpio? Let's begin. Patience. Not the kind of patience that waits quietly in line at the grocery store, but the sacred kind of patience. The kind that waits through storms, through heartbreak, through years of silence without losing faith. That is the kind of patience Scorpio holds deep inside. And maybe you've felt it before. Have you ever wanted something so much, but life kept telling you, not yet? Everyone around you moved forward, while you stood still. And yet, something inside you whispered, wait. Trust. Keep holding on. That's not weakness. That's a divine strength most people will never understand. Scorpios are gifted with the ability to wait, not because they're passive, but because they know some things in life are worth enduring the darkness for. A Scorpio doesn't panic when life slows down. They understand that timing is everything. That waiting is sometimes more powerful than acting. Think of the caterpillar, stuck in darkness, inside a cocoon. It doesn't rush. It doesn't fight. It waits, knowing that transformation takes time. Scorpio carries that same wisdom in their soul. And maybe, so do you. So next time life feels stuck, remember, patience is not punishment. It's preparation. But patience is just the beginning. Scorpios are not just waiting for life to change. They're transforming pain itself into power. That's the next hidden talent. Emotional alchemy. Most people try to avoid pain. They numb it, hide from it, pretend it never happened. But Scorpio, they do something different. They walk straight into it. They feel every sharp edge of heartbreak, every disappointment, every betrayal. And then, they turn it into something else. Wisdom, strength, a new version of themselves. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But think about it. Maybe you've survived something that nearly broke you. And now, you look back and realize you're wiser, stronger, less naive. That's emotional alchemy at work. And Scorpios do this not once, but over and over again in their lifetime. Picture a Scorpio heart like a furnace. Every painful memory thrown into the fire. And from that fire, something stronger is forged. A new soul. A clearer mind. A wiser heart. But this isn't easy. It's lonely. It's heavy. Scorpio carries emotional weights most people would collapse under. Yet, that's why this gift is sacred. Turning wounds into wisdom isn't just survival. It's transformation. And if you're listening to this, maybe your soul has been doing the same all along. Now, here's where it gets deeper. Scorpios don't just heal by transforming pain. They also heal by stepping away, by choosing solitude. Have you ever wondered why some Scorpios disappear? Why they vanish when life gets heavy? It's not because they're avoiding you. It's because they're protecting themselves. Solitude isn't loneliness to Scorpio. It's medicine. It's the place where they rebuild. Imagine a forest after a fire. Silent. Empty. But over time, new life begins to grow. Quietly. Slowly. That's what solitude does for a Scorpio's soul. In that silence, they process. They reflect. They heal. They let go of what no longer serves them. And then, when they're ready, they return. Stronger. Clearer. Ready to love again. Ready to fight again. If you're someone who's ever needed space to heal, know this. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. And Scorpio carries that wisdom in their DNA. Solitude is not something to fear. It's a sacred ritual of self-repair. And sometimes, you heal better when no one is watching. But there's one more truth about Scorpio that few people understand. Their soul is a mirror. A powerful one. When you stand in front of a Scorpio, you see yourself. Not the version you show to the world, but the real you. Your fears. Your hopes. Your hidden desires. That's why being close to a Scorpio can feel overwhelming. Their presence reflects back to you the parts of yourself you've tried to hide. And that's not a curse. That's a gift. Because how can you heal what you refuse to see? Scorpios help people see their truth. Not with words, but with presence. Have you ever met someone who made you question your choices? Who made you reflect on your life? Without saying much at all? That's the mirror effect of Scorpio. They don't just look at you, they see through you. And in doing that, they push you toward growth, even if it's uncomfortable. Think about the people in your life who've challenged you to grow. Maybe they weren't easy to be around, but they were necessary. Scorpio is that necessary mirror. And while it's not always gentle, it's always honest. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you've been hiding from your truth, if you've been pretending to be someone you're not, the energy of Scorpio will find you. Whether through a person, a situation, or a painful moment, life will eventually hold a mirror to your soul. And when it does, don't look away. Look deeper. What you fear seeing might be the key to your next transformation. So far, we've only uncovered 4 of Scorpio's hidden talents. Sacred patience. Emotional alchemy. Regenerative solitude. And the soul mirror effect. But there's so much more. Scorpio's gifts are vast, mysterious, and life-changing. And in the next part of this journey, we'll dive even deeper into their emotional power, their psychological mastery, and the silent strength that makes Scorpio unlike any other soul in the Zodiac. So if this touched something inside you, if you saw a piece of yourself in these stories, stay with me. Because what's coming next might change the way you see your own soul forever. Vulnerability. Most people hear that word and think of weakness. Think of failure. But Scorpio knows better. For Scorpio, vulnerability isn't a flaw. It's a doorway. A passage into a deeper kind of strength. You see, Scorpio's greatest paradox is this: the more broken their heart becomes, the stronger their soul grows. That sounds impossible, right? But think about your own life. Think about the times you were hurt. The moments when you thought you couldn't go on. And yet, you did. And in that moment, your weakness became your new power. That's exactly how Scorpio lives every day. They feel deeply. They bleed emotionally. But that's not the end of them. It's the beginning of something new. Their vulnerability becomes the seed of their transformation. This ability to hold both pain and power at the same time, it's what sets Scorpio apart. It's why they can walk through emotional storms that would destroy others and still rise. Wiser. Stronger. Their strength isn't loud. It's quiet. Hidden. But it's there. And perhaps it's inside you too. Now, let's talk about control. Not the negative kind. Not manipulation. But the psychological dance of control that Scorpio understands better than anyone else. In relationships. In conversations. Even in their own emotions. Scorpio knows when to hold on, and when to let go. When to speak, and when silence is stronger. This isn't calculation. It's instinct. Imagine this, you're in a heated argument. Your emotions are burning. Words are flying. Most people react. Lash out. Say things they regret. But Scorpio pauses. Watches. Listens. Because they know that sometimes, power is found not in action, but in restraint. They don't waste energy proving their worth. They don't explain when silence speaks louder. That's their mastery. Emotional strategy. Have you ever met someone who made you feel like they always knew something you didn't? That's Scorpio. They sense. They read between every word. They feel the energy shift in a room before anyone else notices. And that's not magic. That's psychological mastery born from deep emotional intelligence. And here's the lesson, sometimes the most powerful move is to wait. To observe. To choose your moment, rather than chasing it. Scorpio teaches us that control isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. And speaking of mastery, there's one place where Scorpio excels like no other: conflict. But not in the way you think. Scorpios don't seek fights. They don't crave chaos. Instead, they know the wisdom of silence during conflict. Because silence, to Scorpio, is a weapon. Think back to your last argument. Did you speak just to fill the silence? Or did you choose your words like a sculptor shaping stone? Scorpio chooses. Carefully. Strategically. In conflict, silence isn't absence. It's presence. It's control. When Scorpio stays quiet, it's not because they're weak. It's because they're listening. Reading. Calculating. And when they do speak, their words carry weight. Precision. Truth that cuts through noise. Imagine the power of saying less, but meaning more. That's what Scorpio embodies. And here's the hard truth: you don't need to win every argument. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. Sometimes, silence is your greatest strength. Let Scorpio remind you of that. Now, what about fear? Most people avoid it. Run from it. But Scorpio, they transform fear into insight. Picture this, standing at the edge of your comfort zone. Heart racing. Uncertainty pressing against your mind. That's where Scorpio feels most alive. Not because they're reckless, but because they know fear is a doorway to growth. Where others see danger, Scorpio sees lessons. Where others avoid change, Scorpio seeks it. They don't fear endings. They understand them. Death, loss, transformation, these aren't threats to Scorpio. They're guides. Scorpio walks through life's shadows, not to suffer, but to learn. To evolve. To transform fear into wisdom. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Failure? Rejection? Being alone? Now ask, what if those fears are the very path to your next breakthrough? Scorpio would tell you, stop running. Turn around. Face your fear. And walk through it. Because on the other side, there's growth. There's freedom. There's your next version of yourself waiting to be found. All of these gifts, vulnerability is strength. Control is inner mastery, silence is strategy, fear is transformation. They're not just abstract ideas. They're tools. Tools you can use every single day to navigate your own life. You don't need to be born a Scorpio to embody these powers. Maybe life has already been shaping them inside you. And remember, Scorpio doesn't teach us how to avoid pain. Scorpio teaches us how to survive it, how to use it, how to become something more because of it. But we're not finished yet. The deeper truths are still waiting. In the next part of this journey, we'll explore the most spiritual, the most controversial, and the most soul-shaking abilities that Scorpio carries. Secrets that many refuse to believe, but once you understand them, you'll never look at life the same way again. So, are you ready to discover the final 3 gifts that define Scorpio's soul? Stay with me, because the truth might surprise you. Intuition. A word people throw around too easily. But for Scorpio, intuition isn't just a feeling. It's a language, a guide, a voice that speaks even when the world is silent. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something shift? Without reason, without evidence, but you knew. Someone was lying. Someone was hurting. Someone was hiding something. That knowing? Scorpio lives with it every single day. It's not learned. It's not trained. It's in their blood. It's a silent radar, guiding them through every conversation, every decision, every connection. While others listen to words, Scorpio listens to energy. Imagine trusting yourself that deeply. Imagine walking through life with the quiet confidence that even when everything seems unclear, your gut knows the truth. Scorpio does. And here's the secret: this gift isn't about seeing the future. It's about sensing the present more deeply than others can. When you learn to trust your inner knowing, life changes. You stop asking for outside approval. You stop doubting every step. You begin to move from your center, from your core. Scorpio shows us that intuition isn't a mystery. It's a muscle, a compass. And the more you listen, the stronger it becomes. Now let's talk about loyalty. Not casual promises. Not fleeting friendships. But real loyalty. Soul-level commitment. If you've ever earned a Scorpio's trust, you'll understand this. When they give loyalty, it's forever. Not because you're perfect. Not because you never hurt them. But because when Scorpio bonds with you, it's not to your mask. It's to your soul. And that bond is sacred. Scorpio doesn't stay because it's easy. They stay because they choose to. And that choice is rare in this world. Loyalty like that means defending you when no one else does. Protecting your secrets. Believing in you even when you've stopped believing in yourself. But here's the thing people forget. That loyalty is earned, not demanded. Scorpio doesn't give their soul to everyone. They observe. They test. They wait. And when they commit, it's complete. Maybe you've felt that before. That one person who stands beside you no matter how broken you feel. That one friend. That partner who guards your name in rooms where you aren't present. That's the energy of Scorpio loyalty. Protective, powerful, and terrifying if you ever lose it. Now, shift your attention for a moment. Away from the physical world. Into something deeper. Something unseen. Scorpio holds a connection to the mystical that most people can't explain. From childhood, many Scorpios sense what others don't. They feel energies in rooms. They understand emotions without explanation. They're drawn to symbols, dreams, to anything that whispers of something beyond. This isn't fantasy. It's a natural pull towards the spiritual side of life. Have you ever dreamt something and then watched it unfold? Have you ever felt an unexplainable connection to a person you just met? That's not coincidence. That's your intuitive door cracking open. Scorpio walks through that door like it's home. While others dismiss their instincts, Scorpios follow them. Their lives are guided not just by logic, but by knowing. Their connection to the unseen allows them to read people, situations, even fate itself, in ways others cannot. And here's the beauty of it. They don't chase the mystical for power. They respect it. They protect it. Scorpio teaches us that the mystical is not something to fear or control. It's something to trust, to explore, to listen to. So if you've been ignoring your inner voice, maybe it's time to listen. Like Scorpio does. Finally, the mystery. Scorpio is the embodiment of the unsolved puzzle. You can spend years beside them and still feel like there's more to learn. And that's not manipulation. It's not deception. It's divine protection. Scorpio's mystery isn't about hiding from you. It's about guarding their soul. Because they know, not everyone deserves to know everything. In a world that demands constant sharing, constant exposure, Scorpio stands as a reminder that your soul deserves privacy. That mystery is power. That when people don't know everything about you, they're forced to wonder, to respect, to be curious. Have you ever felt exhausted from explaining yourself? From justifying your choices? Scorpio doesn't. They choose mystery over explanation, privacy over performance. And that is what makes them unforgettable. Their mystery is not a wall. It's a mirror. When people look at Scorpio, they don't just see Scorpio. They see themselves. Their hopes. Their fears. Their shadows. That's why people obsess over Scorpios without knowing why. They're chasing the reflection of their own soul. And Scorpio lets them. In silence. In mystery. In power. These four talents, sharp intuition, sacred loyalty, connection to the mystical, and the divine gift of mystery, they're not just cosmic abilities. They're life lessons. Scorpio teaches us to trust our inner knowing. To be loyal with intention, not obligation. To honor what is unseen. And to guard our soul like the sacred temple it is. But the journey isn't over yet. The final 3 gifts are waiting. And they're not what you expect. Because in the last part of this video, we'll uncover the most controversial, the most hidden, and perhaps, the most misunderstood truths about Scorpio's soul. So, are you ready to hear what even Scorpios themselves rarely admit? Stay with me. What comes next will challenge everything you thought you knew. Have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt like they could see right through you? Like they weren't just looking at your face, but into your soul? That's the Scorpio gaze. It's not just intense. It's hypnotic. Powerful. Almost unsettling. But what you need to know is, it's not intentional. Scorpio doesn't choose to see you that deeply. It's just who they are. Their gaze isn't about control. It's about connection. Think about the last time someone really saw you. Not the version you pretend to be, but the real you. Your fears. Your dreams. Your truth. That moment feels raw, doesn't it? That's how it feels when a Scorpio looks at you. Their eyes are a silent conversation. They say what words can't. They ask questions without speaking. And often, they get answers without needing to ask. That's the silent power Scorpio carries everywhere they go. But this isn't a trick. It's a sacred energy. Their gaze can make you feel exposed, but also understood. Vulnerable, but safe. It's why people remember Scorpios long after they're gone. It's why their presence lingers. They didn't just see you. They connected with you. Soul to soul. Now, beyond their eyes. Scorpio carries something even more powerful: strategic emotional intelligence. They don't just feel deeply. They know when to feel, when to act, when to hold back. Life is like a chessboard to them. Emotions aren't random waves. They're signals, clues. Have you ever wondered why a Scorpio seems quiet when everyone else is reacting? Why they sometimes step back when others rush forward? It's not fear. It's calculation. They know that reacting emotionally isn't always wise. Sometimes silence protects your energy. Sometimes waiting reveals the truth. Scorpio reads situations not just with their heart, but with their intuition sharpened by experience. Imagine being able to sense when someone's lying, just by how the room feels. Imagine knowing when to speak and when silence will speak louder. This is Scorpio's gift. Emotional intelligence that isn't loud, but surgical. Precise. Protective. It's why they survive betrayals others can't. Why they navigate chaos without losing themselves. And here's what you can learn from that. You don't have to react to everything. You don't need to explain yourself every time. Sometimes, your silence is your strength. Your intuition is your strategy. Scorpio lives by that. And maybe it's time you did too. Now, there's something most people miss about Scorpio. Something most never talk about. Psychic strength. Not fortune-telling. Not predicting the future. But the power to sense things before they're visible. To feel energies most people can't explain. Have you ever known something bad was coming before it happened? Have you ever felt someone was lying, even when they swore they weren't? That's your psychic strength speaking. Scorpio is born with this. A shield around their soul. A whisper inside their mind. Warning them. Guiding them. Protecting them. It's why they're rarely shocked when betrayal comes. They felt it. It's why they often walk away from situations others thought were perfect. Because deep inside, they knew the truth. And this strength doesn't make life easy. It makes life heavy. Imagine knowing too much. There's something different about the way Scorpio thinks. Something most people never notice. Scorpio doesn't just live on the surface of life. They dive deep. Not only into emotions, but into questions most people are too afraid to ask. Why am I here? What's the meaning behind all this? Why does pain exist? From a young age, Scorpio carries philosophical depth. While others chase distractions, Scorpio searches for truth. They don't accept easy answers. They want to know why. They want to understand the invisible threads connecting everything. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself asking questions late at night? Wondering about life's purpose when everyone else seems content with just getting through the day? That's the Scorpio energy inside you. The hunger for something deeper. They crave conversations that open minds. Not small talk. Not surface-level connections. Real honesty. Real understanding. And maybe that's why Scorpios often feel lonely. Not because they're hard to love, but because few people understand the weight of their thoughts. If you've ever felt disconnected from the world around you, not because you're lost, but because you're searching, you carry this gift too. Use it. Reflect more. Question more. Look at life not as something happening to you, but something you're meant to understand. Scorpio shows us that thinking deeply isn't a burden. It's a blessing. And that seeking meaning isn't weakness. It's the path to awakening. Now we've arrived at the final truth. The gift hidden even from many Scorpios themselves. The hidden fire. Scorpio burns from within. Not in loud ways. Not in obvious ways. But deep. Controlled. Steady. Have you ever met someone whose presence was powerful, even when they said nothing? Someone who didn't need to prove themselves because their energy spoke louder than words? That's the Scorpio fire. A sacred energy that fuels everything they do. Their passion, their loyalty, their silence, their intensity. It's all born from this quiet flame inside. But here's the important part. That fire doesn't burn recklessly. It doesn't consume for the sake of destruction. Scorpio's fire is intentional, purposeful. It knows when to burn bright and when to smolder in silence. This hidden flame gives Scorpio focus when others are distracted, resilience when others give up, love that heals rather than hurts. And here's where you can learn from this. You have a hidden fire too. Maybe you've ignored it. Maybe life has made you doubt it. But deep inside, there's a part of you that refuses to give up. A quiet strength that wakes up when everything around you falls apart. Scorpio reminds us that fire is sacred. Protect it. Feed it. Trust it. When you stop looking for external validation and start honoring the quiet power inside you, everything changes. You stop chasing. You start creating. You stop explaining. You start being. That's the final lesson Scorpio offers. You don't need to burn loudly to be powerful. Sometimes, the quietest fire is the strongest of all. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, maybe you're seeing Scorpio. And maybe even yourself, in a new way. Not just as a zodiac sign, but as a soul built for depth, for transformation, for silent strength. Life isn't easy for souls like Scorpio. But maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe they were chosen to carry the darkness, so they could teach others how to find the light. Maybe you were too. So, if something in this video spoke to your heart, if you recognized pieces of yourself in these stories, take a moment to pause. Breathe. Reflect. You're not broken. You're becoming. And that's the most powerful thing of all. If you felt connected to this message, don't forget to subscribe. Not just because it supports the channel, but because every week, we'll explore more truths like this. More stories to help you understand your soul. Share this video with someone you care about. Someone who carries depth. Even if the world doesn't see it. And if you're brave enough, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what spoke to you. What you're learning about yourself. And remember, this isn't the end. There's so much more to uncover. In Scorpio. In yourself. In the universe around you. So stay curious. Stay kind to your heart. And keep your inner fire burning. I'll see you in the next video.